Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Yasmin Gomes, and I'm the marketing specialist at OmniClouds. OmniClouds is the leading provider of ICT as a service. Today, we are presenting a webinar on digital transformation with SD-WAN, presented by our very own Suniti Garg, our SE system engineer. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into your chat box to the right. I will bring them up at the end of the presentation, and we will also have time for questions at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn our time over to Suniti.
Hi all, my name is Suniti Garg and I'm working as a pre-sale system engineer at OmniClouds. Today we are going to discuss about overview of SD-WAN as a networking solution. How SD-WAN works, we will discover the advantages of SD-WAN and we will see how SD-WAN empowering businesses towards digital transformation. However, before moving towards SD-WAN, let's understand current state of enterprise networking today. We all know businesses have more reliant on WAN connectivity with centralization of applications and transition of services to the cloud, like SaaS applications, Office 365, and even the workloads which are running in AWS or Azure public cloud. So most enterprises are deploying the MPLS to meet application requirement. Mostly MPLS always paired with an internet circuit for the backup connectivity in case there is any outages with MPLS. The main reason behind to select MPLS because we all know it is a reliable connection, gives stability and secure connectivity. Also, MPLS provides QoS support to traffic to meet the defined SLA. But the main issue is with non-critical internet traffic or the traffic which is routing towards the SaaS application is always backhauled to data center from branches for security reasons because most of the security firewalls are placed at the data center only. This kind of architecture faces challenges along with the routing related issues. So here are the few of the challenges which these kind of network suffers. The insufficient bandwidth along with the high MPLS bandwidth cost, application downtime, poor SaaS performance. It comes with complex operation, takes longer time to deploy a MPLS circuit and connect it to rest of the network. There was no application visibility. The traffic or the routing is happen with only L3 information. And also this kind of network is difficult to secure. Also, the WAN router consists of three planes: control plane, data plane, and management plane. So router, we all know, requires a lot of computational cycle to find out only two relevant parameters to forward the traffic from a source to destination. The first is exit interface and second is next hop IP address. Administrator has to log in into the router console or through a graphical user interface to configure the routing protocols like OSPF to exchange the routing information between the routers, and then that protocol in the router runs algorithms so that it can build a routing information base. This information then feeds to data plane to forward the traffic as per the built forwarding information base, the fib table from the rib table. So basically, this process is quite inefficient and prone to outages. So in case any of the one of the plane fails, the complete network will go down. So to solve WAN router and architecture challenges and make network more open and programmable, The SD-WAN technologies works on the principle of SDN, which is software defined networking, and what SDN does, it abstracted the control plane and management plane from your data plane. So now the control and management plane is centralized, which is also called as orchestration layer, and the routers are only responsible to forward the traffic as per the information they receive from a centralized entity. So now the router no longer required to run the heavy computational cycle. They receive the information from the centralized plane and forward the traffic from one source to destination based on that. Some of the key aspects of SD-WAN are ability to provide zero-touch provisioning with remote activation and quick deployment. The SD-WAN has ability to manage overlay using multiple WAN transport links. So now you can use any underlay transport with this technology like ADSL, MPLS, broadband, LTE, VSAT, or even WiMAX. It has the ability to steer traffic across different underlay transport based on circuit capabilities and application requirement. So that we called it as a application based traffic steering. It also provides a optimized access to the SaaS application hosted in a cloud and optimized access to multi-cloud environment. The provisioning of devices is very easy, which is through a predefined service template from a centralized orchestration layer. For the automation, there are various software tools which automate the complete process, and it helps to achieve the dynamic routing changes on ad hoc basis and as required in the network. So let's look at the deployment scenarios of SD-WAN in an enterprise network or a global network. So as we discussed, SD-WAN is an overlay technology which leverages secure VPN tunnel over any underlay transport. So there is a management layer which is either hosted at a cloud or on premises. So this particular orchestration layer is a multi-tenant and provide right access management to the tenants. So multi-tenancy means it can provide access to multiple tenants and there is a complete separation between these tenants. So there is a edge devices which are deployed at branches which provides the connectivity between two sites. So the deployment of SD-WAN can be done either using your internet links or you can club it with the MPLS connectivity as well for additional level of reliability. SD-WAN also provides a backup capability with the legacy site. So here, if you see these two branches have been migrated to SD-WAN, but this one is running with the legacy site. So with the help of a hub or a centralized device, we can create a circuit or a static connectivity between the SD-WAN devices and the legacy router for the backup compatibility purpose. So let's go in little bit detail about the SD-WAN components. So as we discussed, SD-WAN fundamental architecture model consists of a centralized orchestration plane and edge devices which are distributed across data center and branches. So this orchestration plane consists of three main components. One is director, controller, and analytics. So controller is a brain or a intelligence of the solution. So this controller work as a BGP route reflector to reflect the or share the LAN subnet received from different branches and the data center. So what this controller does, this controller create MPBGP session with the branches and share the routing information which it received from different branches to the other branches. So director is provisioning device, or it provides a northbound interface to the users or the administrator, you so that you can provision the CPE devices which are placed at the customer site using the different templates. So it gives an easy to understand graphical user interface for configuration, and even you can enforce the policies from this interface to the CPE or edge devices. The third component is analytics. So this is advanced analytic tool, which is based on advanced analytics and machine learning. So this provides you a logging and reporting details of the complete WAN network. The edge devices are based on the x86 server, which is installed at customer premises. So these devices create a permanent IPsec tunnel with the controller to exchange the routing information, and they forms a dynamic tunnel with the other CPE device for forwarding the data packets. As they receive the request to forward the packet to another device, they create a dynamic secure IPsec channel between the other CPE device and forward the information. So in this diagram, you can see there are control plane and the data flows. And so here, if you see, only the control plane information goes with controller. So there is a no visibility for the data flows to the controller. So the information, the data packets or the data information is completely secure within the premises itself. Let's discuss few of the SD-WAN features in detail. So as we discussed, it supports multiple underlay connection. So SD-WAN allows per packet or per flow load balancing to share the multiple WAN links. The end goal is to improve the customer experience by placing or forwarding the traffic on those links that works best for each application. SD-WAN also provides additional resiliency as multiple links are used. Your one can act as a backup in case your primary goes down. So SD-WAN consists of a feature which is known as SLA monitoring, which apply intelligence to decide which application should use which link. So the properties of underlay link can be measured and monitored with the SLA probes. These probes gather statistics about the link and dynamically redirect the traffic to the link which perform the best performance. So if you see in this particular example, which is given on these slides, there are two applications. One is your voice traffic, which is shown this with black symbol, and the other one is your email traffic. So both kind of traffic has its own properties. Like your email traffic can survive with the delay and the congestion in the network, but voice is a real-time traffic and it cannot afford any lag in the network. So it choose which is the best performing link, like latency for this particular link is 8 millisecond and latency is for 10 millisecond. So with the SLA monitoring feature, we have configured a SLA threshold value for the latency, which is 10 millisecond for the voice traffic. So the maximum limit for that forward the traffic on the link should have a latency of 10 millisecond or the less, cannot be greater than that. So it will send the traffic on the low latency link, which is 8 millisecond, and your Outlook traffic will go anywhere. It can use any other link. But now the latency on the primary link increased up to 12 milliseconds. So it triggers a SLA violation and dynamically route the traffic on the lowest latency link, which is the third link. So this is quite a good feature where it dynamically route the traffic without even experienced by the user. So user will not feel any difference or there is no packet drops. The other significant feature is your L3 and L3 to L7 QoS. So till now system can apply the policies only on the L3 packets, but now it is up to application level as well. So we can classify the application, then apply the ingress rate limiting on the traffic and even the egress queuing on the traffic to define which packets can go for a best, which application packet can go for a best effort forwarding or needs a priority. The other significant one is your local internet breakout. So if you remember on the first, when we were discussing on the first slide, the current networking scenario, we saw we are backhauling all the traffic to the data center and then it is breakout to the cloud. So now with the local internet breakout feature, there is no longer requirement to backhaul the internet traffic to the data center. User or the administrator can enable a security stack which comes with built in with few of the SD-WAN technology or using the security VNF. So they can service chain the security VNF with the SD-WAN. With this, user can directly browse the internet traffic or access the application which are hosted in the cloud directly from the branches itself. No, it's not required to forward it to the data center. So we discussed a lot of benefits of SD-WAN, but I have summarized them in one slide. So SD-WAN provides you a simplified provisioning and the branch onboarding. So you don't need any IT expert at site. It can be activated remotely with the zero-touch provisioning. As everything is automated, it gives you an error-free configuration. The faster provisioning of new sites within a minute. So it's not like you need days to bring out new site. It will comes within a minute, comes up within a minute and connect to rest of the WAN network. End-to-end network visibility from a single pane of glass orchestration layer. There is easy troubleshooting. So no longer required to log in into the each router to find out where the TX or RX packets are getting dropped. You have a complete visibility from the centralized location, and from there it is easy to troubleshoot the issues. The better planning as user has a ability visibility for the underlay bandwidth utilization. So user can plan their underlay upgrade requirement beforehand itself. There is automation to achieve the performance or dynamic requirement of the routing changes required in the network. Multiple hybrid WAN link which supports the intelligent path selection. Then there is administration and a performance improvement, which is your simplified provisioning, reduce human error, and gives you intelligence and gives you a quality of experience which user can experience themselves. If this technology is enabled, user can feel the difference when they were accessing the internet before and after. So let's understand using an example how the digital transition can be achieved using the SD-WAN. So I have taken an example of a retail food chain. So usually for a digital transformation, a reliable network is required to support diverse location, which is spread across your regions, continents, or even the countries, while maintaining the high level of security, scalability, reliability, connectivity. The major challenges faced by retail industries are frequent link downtime and link stability, so which leads to your downtime for your point of sales application and processing online orders at the stores. So they goes with maintain dual MPLS link, which obviously is a very expensive solution, enabling MPLS connectivity at every store, that to be dual. Then the sites are security vulnerable and there are loopholes in the network as stores provide a guest user access to the user which are or the customers which are going to purchase at that stores. So what we have seen is after applying the SD-WAN, these industries saw a significant cost reduction. So they have replaced the MPLS link with ADSL broadband or LTE as with SD-WAN, you can get a reliability and security and stability. The hybrid WAN connectivity ensures there is always uptime and increase in the availability of this tool. So now there are no missed orders or server related issues. So we have seen there are issues where the customer or the attendant or the service staff says the server is not reachable. So that kind of issue is no longer there. So overall, the improved performance and with the help of security stack along with the SD-WAN, it helps to eliminate the vulnerability to the malicious attacks. So OmniClouds guide our customers through planning and design phase. We match you with the right SD-WAN technology based on your business requirement. We provide the complete WAN management overlay 24/7 monitoring. That too on OPEX basis, there is no capital cost involved, which is simply based on the bandwidth, underlay bandwidth speed at the site. So it is like as simple as paying a mobile bill based on the monthly subscription with the flexibility of yearly 3 years, 2 years, or 5-year contract period. So OmniCloud has dedicated gateways in their POP location, which is spread across the globe. From there, we provide specified latency and SLA to the cloud. So we provide the direct connectivity to either to the SaaS applications in the cloud or to the Azure or AWS workloads. We hope to support you in implementing SD-WAN solution and transforming your business with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Suniti. Thank you so much, Suniti. We appreciate all the data and information that you have given us. Muhammad Adil has one question. Do SD-WAN devices need to be integrated with digital transformation devices, or is it built-in feature of SD-WAN for digital transformation?
Hi, Mohammed Adil. Thank you for your question. So, if I understand your question, you mean to say the digital transformation devices, like your IoT devices. So, that would be part of your LAN side of the network, right? And when we say SD-WAN CPE devices, so this is a technology which replaces your WAN router. So, you will connect your underlay WAN connectivity to this router and your LAN side where your IoT devices or your applications, devices like your POS application or different kind of application will be connected on the LAN side. So from SD-WAN side, we will provide you the traffic optimization level. So in that way, it helps for the digital transformation. But when we say the devices, so devices can be either IoT devices or any kind of devices which will be connected at the LAN side of the network.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Muhammad Bashir specifically mentions, will the internet speed get affected? I think everybody has this question when it comes to our devices, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, as I told in the presentation, SD-WAN is a overlay technology, right? So, we are using the underlay, which can be any internet, your DSL, broadband, LTE, DIA connection, or anything. But how we help with the performance enhancement is by combining all these link, your aggregation of these link. So now it's not like you are using a 2 ISP link and you make one as active and the other one will be idle. So that will not be the case. We will aggregate the bandwidth, we will load balance the bandwidth, and we will intelligently steer the traffic as per the current latency, jitter, and delay on that particular network or the circuit capability. So yes, so that's how we improve the performance. Even the internet speed goes down.
Okay, we have another question from Bhagyeshwari. how SD-WAN will overcome underlay performance issues.
So exactly, this is also related to the same, the last question from the Mr. Bashir. So again, we give you a underlay speed we cannot change, but we give you a traffic optimization using aggregating the multiple transport link, and that provides you additional bandwidth and redundancy for the better performance. Even we support the traffic optimization feature like your forward error correction and the packet loss at the WAN network. So you don't need to send it again the packet from the source, the destination, it will be regenerated. Same as application QoS. So now with the help of application QoS, you can prioritize your traffic and utilize your internet connectivity or the underlay connectivity intelligently. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Mohammed Adil has another question. Network monitoring tool for SD-WAN is reactive or proactive?
So, okay, that's a very good question. So we have two kind of tools. Like first is your real-time monitoring, where we monitor the real-time overlay and the underlay connection. So it is, I would say, it's a kind of a pro. My presentation, we are keep on sending the SLA probes, and using that probes we are checking the circuit capability and circuit statistics. So as soon as there is a degrade in the performance in one of the link, we will route dynamically traffic to another link without even experienced by end user. So end user will not experience that difference and your traffic will be moved. So this way the monitoring tool is proactive, not reactive yet. Thank you.
Okay. How does, if we use DIA with SD-WAN CPE, will it be affected?
Actually, I didn't get exactly what the question says, but again, so it's SD-WAN is all about overlay. So underlay is your direct internet access, which is your DIA link, if you mean to say. So there will be no effect. It is a dedicated connection or dedicated lease line which you will be connecting using the underlay. So the traffic will be the overlay tunnel will be created over the DIA.
Okay, great. One last question, Suniti. How does the solution detect congestion, failure, and interruptions? How does it address it?
So exactly. So this is, we have the very good features with the SLA, which is like SLA monitoring. You keep on setting the threshold for the different links. Okay, whenever there is a traffic loss in this particular link, you move it to another link. So if you want to utilize the benefit of the SD-WAN, you should have a multiple link connection, even for the LTE as well, even for the remote side where you don't have any connectivity of your ADSL broadband connection, you can use the LTE connection for the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, Suniti, one last question. What is the difference between SD-WAN and SD-WAN Pro?
Okay, so see, SD-WAN Pro is like a new term which is in the market, I would say. So there is a SD-WAN, which is a current technology, and SD-WAN Pro, some says it's a little bit of enhancement over SD-WAN, which includes your security stack as well. So they say is SD-WAN Pro, or it can be with the licensing as well. So we have a different license with the SD-WAN, and SD-WAN Pro includes advanced license where it comes with your SD-WAN technology and the security stack as well. So security stack will be having your next generation firewall and the UTM features.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Suniti. Your session was super informative. Thank you. Have a good day. If you have any additional questions, you can send them to marketing@omniclouds.com. Whoever has not been answered during this session, obviously we need to let go of Suniti so she can go about her business. We will contact you via email and we will send you answers. Thank you so much for everybody's time.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, Abhishek, there will be a recording of this session on YouTube. You can just go to YouTube, just type in OmniClouds, and you'll find all our webinars and all our videos. Thank you for asking that question. You'll find us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Okay, have a nice day, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.